Alrighty, today we're going to be learning about if events led to change, continuity, or both. So, specifically, we're going to answer the questions, what does change in continuity mean? What happened in India in 1947? And what was the impact of the partition of India? This is presented by Miss Wilcombe for the 9th grade World History course. Let's get started. Alrighty, for this lesson competency, we're looking at a new one today, Social Studies 1.3. We have to be able to explain if an event led to change, continuity, or both, and back our reasoning up with evidence. Let's go over some quick vocabulary words. First, what does change mean? Change is when an event or someone makes something different, it alters it, or it modifies. So think of this line. This line does not stay the same. It keeps on zigzagging back and forth. That is change. Then we have continuity. Continuity is when an event makes or allows something to stay the same. So continuity means it's just staying the course. It's staying the same, okay? Think of a straight line. All right, let's go over two examples of change in continuity. So the first, if circumstances before and after the event are different, then the event led to change. Specifically, let's look at this example. The first election of Barack Obama in 2008 led to change because of his policies, restored the economy, and his tenure led to rights increasing for minoritized groups such as BIPOC, women, and immigrants, etc. So essentially this is saying Obama's first election, when he was elected, it led to change because he gave more rights to people. Okay, let's look at continuity. If circumstances before and after the event stay the same, this event led to continuity. Let's take a look. So the second election of Barack Obama in 2011 led to continuity because he continued to be president for a second term and just continued enforcing the same policies that he started after the first election. So things stayed the same. Alrighty, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at an example. This is your graphic organizer. So first, let's take a look at what we need to do here. So first, take a look at the event. Here's the event right here. So our event is Queen Victoria becomes Empress of India. Then you have to answer the question, did this event lead to change, continuity, or both? And you have to give specific examples. Use the sentence starter to set yourself up for success, and you're going to be writing your answer in this white box below. After you're done explaining if that event led to change, continuity, or both in your own words, then you are going to be coming over and you're going to find evidence from the text. Make sure you add quotation marks and the sentence starter the text states, so you're showing your reader that you got your information from the text. Alrighty, so this is our little blurb. And this explains the event about Queen Victoria. So Queen Victoria becomes Empress of India. We have to figure out if this leads to change, continuity, or both. Let's take a look. So it starts. The British East India Company arrived in India in the early 1600s, struggling and nearly begging for the right to trade and do business. Within 150 years, the thriving firm of British merchants, backed up by its own powerful private army, was essentially ruling India. In the 1800s, English power expanded in India, and as it would until the mutinies of 1857 and 58. After those very violent spasms, things would change, yet Britain was still in control. The importance of India and the affection of the British Crown felt for its colony was emphasized in 1876 when Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli declared Queen Victoria to be Empress of India. Okay, so we just got to our event right here. Now we need to see if things changed afterwards. It says British control of India would continue most peacefully. Okay, so saying continue here may be continuity. Let's take a look. Throughout the remainder of the 19th century. It wasn't until Lord Curzon became viceroy in 1898 and instituted some very unpopular policies that an Indian nationalist movement began to stir. Well, now we see that after Queen Victoria became empress in India, that's when the Indian national movement began to happen. That is when they were trying to fight for independence. I think that this shows that it led to change because there wasn't really that movement before she became Empress of India. Okay, let's write this down. So in my graphic organizer, I'm going to write this down in my own words. And I'm going to start using the sentence starter. The British Queen after Queen Victoria becomes Empress of India, things began to change because this event led to the creation of the Indian national movement. Period. So I explained that it led to change in my own words. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a evidence from the text. The text states, so I used my sentence starter, and now I'm going to put this in quotation marks. I think I'm going to use the sentence right here. It wasn't until Lord Curzon became viceroy in 1898 and instituted some very unpopular policies that an Indian national movement began to stir. All right, let's write that down. It wasn't until Lord Curzon became viceroy in 1898 and instituted some very unpopular policies that an Indian nationalist movement began to stir. Alrighty, and now I'm finished with writing my quote. Thank you for watching.